everyone, welcome to TGIF, where we unravel the latest and greatest every Friday. Today, our discussion revolves around universal significance, zero trust. In the next few minutes, we would like to dive into the importance of zero trust, explore the principles of it, and as well understand why it's a game changer in the cybersecurity world. For that, I would like to invite the guest speaker for today, who is Abbas, Chief Security Advisor, and also an author on book Zero Trust. Abbas, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Pallavi, for having me today. Pleasure to be here.
Thank you so much. So, Abbas, let's dive right in. I would like to understand what is the significance of zero trust and why is it making waves in today's cybersecurity world?
Yeah, thanks. That's a very relevant question these days. Everyone is talking about zero trust, but actually, that concept is not new. It's been there since 2003 when Zedico Forum started talking about how they can leverage or remove the explicit trust factor when employees trying to connect. But the zero trust word was coined only in 2018 by Dr. Zero Trust or a John Kinderman, who used to work for Forrester at that time, and he coined this particular word called zero trust, which is actually a bunch of principles, and it's a framework where an organization can follow the core principle of zero trust, which we call it in Microsoft, we call it as a first principle as trust no one, verify everyone, or explicit verification, wherein a customer has to explicitly verify every signal which have been targeted towards their company. The second principle we talked about is a least privilege, where you need to eliminate all the admin accounts and a high profile privilege accounts from your environment and go based on need to know, need to do basis or a role based access control. And the third principle Zero Trust talks about in an assume breach, wherein you have a mindset where attackers could be inside and I need to focus on a layered defensive approach. And being after COVID, since everyone started working from home, this concept was really flourished that everyone wants to work from home and have a remote connectivity. And that is why the concept of zero trust all of a sudden saw a huge interest. Everyone wants to follow and implement it.
Exactly. And I think there are some common challenges that led to this need for zero trust. So, can you call out those challenges and why organizations today need to embrace zero trust?
Yeah, so zero trust gives a lot of benefit based on the principle we talked about, where it is allowing you to have being flexible in your working environment. You can work from remotely. At the same time, you are leveraging a lot of the cloud resources, so you're not dependent on your on-prem resources. You are removing the requirement of VPN completely, and that is where the challenges comes into place. What can I do when I have lots of legacy environment and an on-prem environment and not using the cloud resources correctly? That is where they hit the challenge that they cannot allow people to work from home and get access to all the resources which they have on-prem, which is supposed to be moved into the cloud environment. The second biggest challenge they work is not buying a right approach involving the business people. They think it's an IT or a security project, but actually zero trust is a business project. You need to bring everyone together. At the same time, giving a best user experience to your employee and the users as well. You just can't say I'm going to put an MFA and then not give a training or allowing them to use MFA in a right fashion where they can get a good experience. So user experience is something which really need to focus on when they are doing the zero trust architecture framework.
That's awesome. And also, Abbas, as you know, customers are at different point in their journey, and how can they assess their current position and then take on their journey on how they can secure their organization?
Absolutely. If you can't measure, you can't manage, right? As we say.
That's right.
So the very first step is everyone wants to know, how do I get started? Do I need to go and buy a new shiny box from the market and put it in my network and I can say zero trust? No, actually they can reuse a lot of the resources they may already have within their current environment. So the first step is, I always say that go ahead and have a look at it, what you have today, and do something called gap assessment or a maturity assessment.
Okay.
And then there are various framework which I can showcase in terms of how they can leverage.
It would be good, Abbas, if we can get a glimpse of that assessment and how the report looks like, which can guide customers into this journey.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's have a look at it quickly. I'll share my screen. So as you can see, Microsoft has a dedicated portal called aka.ms/zero trust, where once they go here, they can see all the landing information about what all the information we have on zero trust, including a business plan creation. But let me jump onto something called maturity assessment. So here it's a kind of a quiz where we talk about 6 different domain identities, endpoint, application, infrastructure, data, and network, and they can go ahead and answer a series of questions. For example, if they click on identity domain, they have a series of questions which they have to answer. And once they finish answering the question, they get an output like this, which you see on the screen, saying that these are the technological gap you may leverage or use it, which you may own it today in your environment. You may not need to go and buy another box or a new technology. Leverage what you own, and these are the areas of improvement they can focus on to strengthen their uh, 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 identity domain maturity in that particular fashion of a recommendation, what you get out of it. And they can print the results, they can even email the results to their team.
Okay.
So that's one. But I want to focus on one more. If they want to go a bit of a vendor neutral, CISA from USA, they have a very excellent zero trust maturity model, which they have released a new version. They can download the Excel file from here, and they can even have a look at it and go through the questionnaire in a offline mode and see what's the maturity level according to CISA.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I think this would be a great guide for customers as they get started, considering the importance that we have today, right? Thanks a lot, Abbas. That was a very quick and detailed as well to guide customers on how they can get started. With that, I would like to leave you with a thought that zero trust is not a trend, but it's a necessity in this new cybersecurity landscape. Embrace trust with caution. We do see that there are around 70% of the organizations have already started their journey in the zero trust direction. So wishing you all to stay secure and also tune in next time for a few more updates on